Every once in a while, I shoot out one of those big blue bullets that tries to come back to me. But my projectiles are all slow, so they can't actually catch up with me, which means I can stack those big blue projectiles out there endlessly. So that means there is an absolute mega amount of damage in those blue bullets, and we're firing more and more all the time. They're always trying to get to me, but they'll never get there. So I can steer them through bosses and enemies, and they're absolutely destroying everything because there's like a million of them already stacked up. Take this pretentious moron with the health bar. See how I barely hurt him with my attack, but the blue bullets melted him? That's why I've been stacking blue bullets for quite a while and why I'm going to keep stacking them forever. I do think this is a great way of breaking the game because I'm pretty sure those blue bullets are going to be able to eviscerate anything we're going to come across. Plus I have a little helper running around picking up ground collectibles for me, so I don't have to worry about going to grab them myself. I can just worry about staying away from my blue bullets. Okay, here comes the sheriff. We're going to try and get those blue bullets into him. There goes half his health and he seems to have... Oh, he's dead. The blue bullets killed him. Oh, wait, he's back. There's more for him. Okay, have some blue bullets then. We're just going to kite the blue bullets around in circles on him. He might actually be somewhat immune to those for a second. Let's lead back through. He's taking more damage. It's going to get harder and harder to do this. Because my bullets themselves might not do a lot to him, but the purple blue bullets certainly will. Alright, have some blue bullets. He's dead. Oh, that was like the final boss, so that was easy. Sometimes the enemies do get a little bit quick, so my bullets have a hard time catching them, but my projectiles do also slow enemies down, so then the bullets do catch them and they melt. Like here's a devil guy. Those guys are pretty quick and we slowed him down, the bullets ran him over and we got his chest. Well, the blue bullets were fun for killing bosses. For regular enemies, they're falling down a little bit because they just can't really cover enough of the different idiots. But anyways, I'm going to give up this run because I wasn't actually trying to do anything here except unlock a new character, which we did. This character, every time you move 2 meters, load your next shot with 2 more projectiles, max 3 times. That's something I can definitely live with, and they're very, very quick. So they basically turn their gun into a shotgun. Normally it's 1 at a time, you move 2 meters, more shots. So you gotta move, shoot, rinse, repeat. There's no legendary options here, so that's not gonna work at all. Though we re-rolled and projectiles bounce one more time, so I'll take that. Because I assume that means all my projectiles bounce 1 more time. Against single enemies, that's not much, but against hordes of enemies, that's gonna be lots. Aside from that, we're just going to start stacking up damage. The more damage we have, the better everything is. Though movement speed would also be good on this, we'll cover that distance a lot quicker. So we can go like that, and we're already way up here, and then we fire more projectiles. This reduces the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 15%. I don't know if that's considered like an ability I can do that with. I'm not going to risk it, I'm just going to give myself more damage. You just can't go wrong with damage. You need so much of it anyway, because then things die quicker and things get easier. If you don't do enough damage, things don't die. We're going to gain more attack speed because we're not the quickest attacker. But that's okay, we kind of work in bursts. We take a few steps and fire again, take a few steps, fire again, and then they die. Whenever you take damage, triple your attack speed for 5 seconds, plus we gain 1 max health. So if we do get hurt, we'll hopefully blast out in a flurry and get away from the damage. Gain a little bit more damage, we're now up to 80 damage. Leveled up again, we'll get projectiles bounce 1 more time again, so they're definitely getting bouncy. They're going to start to swarm, especially with the amount we fire. Our DPS is probably already pretty stupid actually when I think about it. More damage again. Given all the new items and stuff we can find, I think it's probably wisest to stack damage for now until we pick a more clear direction. Okay, damage. Well, maybe we'll take some attack speed this time. It wasn't a huge upgrade, but that's going to make a big difference DPS wise. Gain much more attack speed. We're going from 2.25 a second to 3.25 a second, so our attack speed just went way up. Permanently raise your attack speed by 30%, but half of your shots are less precise. See if I care. I fire a whole flurry of them anyway. And it's just a little spray and pray. That's the way I usually work anyway. Critical shots deal 100% more damage, so that's a 50% increase on crits. This would probably be good for bosses too, because I can avoid their attacks with all my speed, then turn and do a big shot on them, and then move again before they hit me. Projectiles bounce 1 more time. They are now up to 3 bounces. So that's going to help with crowd control in a big way. Okay, another bounce again. Should we do it? 4 bounces? Yeah, 4 bounces is necessary. We gotta stack something for fun. I know we're on like easy mode and the character's pretty overpowered as it is, but this has been really, really easy so far. Shots pierce through 1 more enemy. Yeah, why not? They're gonna bounce and pierce. Tomato Man! We're gonna get up close to him. Okay, we're gonna get up close and blast him again. Look at all these upgrades. Projectiles bounce 1 more time. Yeah, okay, we'll take 5 bounces. Why wouldn't we? And we'll get the Tomato Man real dead. There we go, a couple more hits. Get up close to him, kablamo. Here's a risky one. Before you dash, take 1 damage but permanently gain 5 default damage. I think we can do that because we have the movement speed. So every once in a while we can go like that and we gain some damage. We have the movement speed that we don't really need dashes, at least not yet. So that's a good way to add damage to ourselves, but we're going to also need to add health to ourselves then also. We're also going to add a bit more movement speed then too. just to be sure that we don't really need the dash as much as we used to. This will definitely be an interesting build. We need lots of hearts to start dropping on the ground so we can increase our damage. For now, I will settle for you get one more choice for every selection, so that just means more rare and useful upgrades. Hopefully lots of legendaries. Hopefully nothing but legendaries, but we'll see how lucky we actually get. Look at all the choices though. So we'll probably just add more damage again. You can never have too much of that. Another level up, we're going to add 1 HP, so we're at 4 or 6. I'm going to try a dash real quick. Yep, that just straight up added 5 damage. Plus that also hurts us, so we get an attack speed boost for a second, which is bad news for the enemies. This one's kind of interesting. Heal for 1 after you dash. So we'll hurt ourselves but get our health back. We'll gain 1 dash. We get a longer cooldown, but we can reduce the cooldown anyway. And we don't really need the dashes. They're pretty much just supplementary at this point. I don't know. We'll figure out how this goes. It's pretty chaotic so far. I'm just going to add more damage again. So we're up to 130 base damage now. If I dash some more, we'll get more. But I'm not sure if I healed last time I dashed, so I'm a little worried about that. We'll take a heart and then we can dash. So we're at 4 of 6 and we stayed at 4 of 6 and got damage. Great. So every 30 seconds we can add 5 damage is what I'm understanding this to be. On this one I'm actually going to add crit chance. I didn't realize we only had 5% crit chance. Now we have 10%. So 1 in 10 shots is now a crit, which is pretty big. I think the best way to use this character with this build is probably just to zoom around like this, wait for them to get a little bit bunched up, and then unleash the chaos because we got lots of bouncy bullets. And we can do a lot of good crowd control that way. Okay, we're going to take a little bit more health again here too, because we can use all that to turn into damage. We're going to use a dash here. We're going to let the boss show up and miss them with all of our shots for some reason because we decided we don't know how to aim for a sec. But we can also use our dash like that too when we need a little bit of extra DPS for a sec, like that, and then rain on them. This boss is always a little bit tough at this point. Not tough, but they have a lot of health. It does take a second to get through. It was the same last time, even with my big blue bullets. It takes the time it takes. It's actually going considerably faster than last time. Oh, and I have one of my dashes just about up. So we'll dash towards the boss and get some easy damage down. I think they're dead because my bouncy bullets will go ahead and pick it up and hopefully we get something amazing. There's a lot of good choices here. Spawns an invincible minion that picks up coins for you, moves slower, inflicts 50% damage when it... Yeah. So now I don't have to worry about picking up coins anymore. He's going to do that for me. So I just need to remember to keep dashing and reduce my cooldowns whenever I can. Didn't mean to do that. But reduction cooldown means more damage long term. Do we take... We'll take more damage. We still need damage no matter what we do, and that also makes our little blue guy deal more damage. But like now, I have a dash, I've got to use that. That added 5 base damage though, and we didn't take any damage. The 30% cooldown kind of hurts on that though, so we're going to try and take that down as big as we can. The little blue guy really is nice though. Like I don't at all have to worry about picking up coins anymore. I need to remember he's there doing it for me. I guess projectiles bounce one more time. They're getting pretty bouncy at this point, but that just means a lot more DPS for us. Yeah, obviously we got a little boss sitting here. We'll just slowly shoot through them. Actually, we do also have a dash up, so we can go like that and get right in their face and really take out their health, and that gave us more damage. Do we want to triple our shots? I think we kind of do. Triple our shots, but reduce our attack speed by 40%. Because we're not really built for attack speed. We're supposed to just run and stop for a burst, and then run and stop for a burst. So when you do that, we're going to fire even more projectiles now, kind of like this. And with all those bounces, we fire like 1,000,000 at once. And we're going to take the purple, gain a lot more damage. We're going to go from 170 to 190. That's a big increase. Maybe we should just go ahead and see how many bullets we could possibly get to spawn all at once. I bet you it's quite a few. This character is actually so fast that we're starting to run into things accidentally. Base damage is 195, but I bet we can get it so much higher. We're about to finish off Idiot Stick as soon as he comes just a little closer. Okay, here's a good one. Reduce the cooldowns of dashes and abilities by 10%. That's going to knock 3% off of our dash cooldown. And that's going to work out to a lot of extra damage over the next little while. I'm going to re-roll these because I feel like we could probably get a legendary. Well, we got some blue ones at least. We'll take your projectiles slow down enemies by 70%. We fire a lot of projectiles so the enemies will at least be slow, which means we need to dash less to get out of the way. Speaking of which, there's an extra 5 damage plus all that extra insta damage. Another level up, let's take attack speed. I know attack speed isn't really the biggest thing on this build, but it still will help. This will be a satisfying big cluster of enemies, and melted. We'll just take some extra dashes for now because I'm liable at some point to forget I have them. And then we'll be able to use a whole bunch at once to get some extra damage going. That guy's pretty strong. He's also slowed at this point, so he's very slowly waddling toward us dying. Permanently augments your damage by 30%, reduces your attack speed by 20. I think we can take that because we're just going to do burst fires anyway. All our damage comes from right there when we stop and burst. And I've got so much health that I've developed a very lazy habit of just running into people without caring. Base damage did jump up to 286 though, so it's getting up there. We'll take crits deal 75% more damage. Since we have a solution to raise our base damage now, we might as well add some crits. The game really wants bouncy projectiles today. I think I'll just stick to damage though, thanks. 312. At least until I dash one more time, which will happen very soon. And then it's 318. I'm not sure how we got an extra 1 out of that deal, but I'm not going to complain. Permanently augments your damage by 20%. Projectiles are 50% slower. I don't think that's going to bother me in any capacity. I think we're going to be perfectly fine with that extra damage. None of these are super great at this point, so we're just going to take 5% crit chance. That did add 50% to our crit chance, and we got our sheriff incoming. This is just crazy Denzel here. He's a real handful, but we mostly just have to sit right about here and shoot him a whole bunch. Our damage is high enough, he's really going down quickly. We'll just take a few steps when we need to get that extra burst. He's going to go down there. We took a hit there. That's okay. We got some HP here. As soon as he wants to show up again, we'll melt him with extra shots. This is where that extra movement speed really does come in handy. Oh, never mind. He's dead. There's a lot of good choices here, but every 1 meter deals 30% of your damage to enemies in an area around you. We're a very mobile build, so we're going to move a lot, so therefore we're going to strike a lot with that. We have high damage, so that's going to help us out. We have different enemies spawning now. There's a lot fewer of them, but they're a lot tougher. They also drop the green and purple gems instead, so we'll get a lot more experience. And we got this crazy guy. We'll get right in his face. We took off half his health just like that, and there's right about the other half. Then he'll die a graceful death. I also dashed to get myself a little extra damage. We're up to 413. This one's interesting. Gain 10% more experience from future and past coins. That should level us up then if we're getting a boost from previously acquired coins. Reduce the cooldowns of dash. So that's a full 70% of what it used to be. So we're now 30% quicker. So it's 21 seconds instead of 30. And that's just going to add a lot of damage. We're already ready to do another one. That'll take us from 421 to 429. It's adding 8 damage per dash now for some reason. I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to accept it and continue walking into people. Okay, here we go again. We got dash abilities by further 15%. So now they're at 60% reduction. 40% reduction rather. I think I'm reading that backwards. I don't know. I'm not going to try and do too much math right now. I'm already having trouble focusing and not walking into idiots. I do want more crits and crit chance though. So we're going to go like that and melt them with all the extra damage. Throw 3 knives in a random direction for each 4 meters traveled. Yeah, why not? We're traveling a lot, so that's just going to help. We don't need to stop to attack at some points now. We'll be doing continual damage that way. And another dash, that put our damage up, and more cooldown reduction. Oh, we do have good speed though too. I'm going to take this just because it's a legendary speed upgrade, which will just add a lot to our base attack. The enemies are spawning in a strange way. They're getting a little bit hard to avoid. I am also walking into them quickly though because of my ridiculous movement speed. So as per usual, I have no one but myself to blame for these things. Emits an aura that inflicts 25% of your damage to idiots around me. Damage is only going up and up, so that's only going to get better and better. Reduce the cooldown for another 10%. So basically the dash is almost down 50% now, so it's about 15 seconds instead of 30. So we're going to add whatever it is, 8 damage every 15 seconds or so for the rest of this. Well, here's another one I just can't resist. Gain much more damage. Since it's legendary 484 to 530, that added 50 damage all by itself. I just can't help myself. When I say yellow upgrade, I almost have to buy it. Okay, this will be another good test of our current damage levels. Whatever this guy is, we'll spin around him. Yeah, once we get a good volley on him, he takes massive damage. We're going to emit an aura around us that slows enemies by 35%. We'll also damage them when they get close, so that's kind of a double whammy. They get slowed and evaporated once they get in our range. Oh, and I let 2 dashes build up, so there's an extra 16 damage. Plus, we're going to do higher damage crits. And it's time for another sheriff. This one's going to be the Undertaker, as he's called. We just took off a third of his health just with that little maneuver of ours. We got to stay out of his way, but we're a super quick character, so staying out really shouldn't be a problem. Okay, he's almost already dead. He's off his horse. Now we got to deal with whatever he's about to do. I've only fought him the previous time, so okay, well, we just got to avoid his balls, which is pretty much as easy as sitting here. We're going to get some damage in on him here. He's really tough, actually. I never really realized how much health he had. So we sit here. Okay, he's actually getting a little bit harder to dodge. I'm not used to thinking. Oh, I'm got to be careful I don't die here. Okay, this part does actually get hard. I didn't realize that before because he didn't make it to this part. Oh, okay, watch out for the balls. Okay, we got to be careful now. Can I just sit here and spray you with this for a second? It kind of works against me throwing 3 arrows out the front like that because only one of them really hits him. I can try and get the garlic in there, but that's a risky spot to sit. The balls are going to come back in, and we might have to go through that. Hey, there's my little helper. Where's he been this whole time? He doesn't want anything to do with this battle. Okay, we're going to try and finish him here. I think we got him. And that healed us luckily too, so we're back to full health. Your shots come back to you and gain 5 piercing. Yes, they're going to go out and in like that, so it's really a good shotgun blast now. So whatever gets caught in that wave is probably going to die. We're going to have 5% more crit chance, but a lot of our early upgrades were an extra projectile bounce, and they don't bounce at all anymore, so those first 6 upgrades don't count for anything anymore. But ask me if I care. We've got so much damage now, it's almost a joke. Speaking of which, there's a free dash. There's free damage upgrade. 608 base damage now. Plus that's giving us 8 damage still every time. Okay, there's also a devil chasing us down, so we're going to try and get in his face and evaporate him. And then we're just going to straight up take a damage upgrade here. 624 to 655. That was worth a few dashes at least. Shoot an orbiting projectile regularly. I don't know if that's one of ours or just a generic one, but that's just extra damage. It's going to help. You can just never really have too many things going on, but I do still want to get my dash cooldown much lower than this. It does also kind of hurt not having the range to be able to hit people from a long ways away, so we do have to get kind of close to all the idiots. Our attack speed does kind of help with that, but it also kind of makes it dangerous to get close because it gets hard to see what's happening. Okay, cooldowns by a further 10%. Now we have an over 50% cooldown, so it's less than 15 seconds for each dash, which is an extra 8 damage each time. Okay, we already have another dash powered up, which is good because enemies are getting much more numerous. When one of your dash slots is ready, create a burst that does 100% around you and gain a dash. Okay, so every time one of my dash things recharges, we're going to get a pulse of damage. And that's going to help us out because suddenly the enemies are starting to get the edge on us. I got to remember to stay mobile. Gotta keep moving, and definitely pick up hearts when I see them. We have enough damage to kill the enemies, we just, need more damage to kill more enemies, really. The Dilko Fest is coming back, and 694 base damage is pretty adequate, I've gotta say. Look at all these. That's so tempting. That doesn't really mean much. That would help, but we're going an extra 15% there, so we're at 40% of what it was originally, so we had a 60% cooldown. So it only takes us 12 seconds to recharge one dash. The mini bosses are starting to stack up, so that's not great for us. We'll see if we can get some extra damage going here. Yeah, there we go. We melt that mob. Glad I have as much HP as I do now. Okay, these guys are way quicker. The new guys they added to this game are fast and tough. They really get up to you quick. Drops a dynamite before each dash, and then we gain one dash from that. So that's actually just going to be a little extra damage. Plus we leave some TNT behind, which is hilarious. And we're going to reduce our cooldown again. So as soon as I get out of this swarm of enemies, I will try and look over to what my my cooldown is about 63% now. Which means any effect abilities come much more often than they otherwise would. But the enemies are so much tougher than they used to be at this stage that it's getting hard to deal with. You know what, we're going to make that 803 base damage. Too bad we don't have a higher crit chance at this point. We could be doing tons of big crits. I'm probably in trouble here just based on the amount of idiots spawning in suddenly. All the bullets in the world, and it might just not be enough. Okay, we got more bosses and stuff spawning in. We got another dash built up, which we're gonna have to use. I think we dashed through some damage there. Okay, we got him. Can we kill him? I would love a chest right now. And that's it for this one. 819 base damage though. If we filmed that earlier, that could have been even better again.